The Saskatoon Fiddle Orchestra is undergoing its 15th year with a celebration here on June 1st. I've invited Candace Savage and Marielle Gauthier to come here and give us some background about the organization and the upcoming celebration. So I want to thank both of you for making some time today.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Maybe Candace, we could start with you a little bit about some of the background and how this organization kind of got its roots and where it's going.
Well, I'm going to actually defer to Marielle because she was there at the very beginning when it was just an idea.
Yeah. Let's start with that.
Yeah, no, I was, yes, I'm one of the co-founders of the orchestra. And about actually 16 years ago, the other co-founder, who is Peggy Slater-Johnson, she and I were meeting on a regular basis to play the violin. And then at one point we got a little bored. And we thought, how about we expand this? How about we bring in more fiddlers and, you know, just make a larger orchestra? And actually, we were very much inspired by the Scottish Fiddle Orchestra. I had never heard about them until I was playing with Peggy. So we thought, hey, why don't we try that? So what we did is we put out a public service announcement and saying that we were looking for fiddlers, people to play fiddle music, traditional music, and Candace and about another 5 or 6 people came and joined us, and we haven't looked back.
And it wasn't just fiddles, because they were looking for people playing the guitar or playing the bodhran or playing the piano, accordion, and that's where I came in.
So you've started, and there have been 2 CDs. I think you said there was a third.
Well, we've got 2 CDs, and we are actually releasing our 3rd CD at our show on June 1.
And that's at the Broadway Theatre.
Correct.
And when we look at the organization itself, are there any prerequisites to signing up or belonging or?
Well, the only really prerequisite is that people read music and that they are of at least an intermediate level, because we are an orchestra. We have different parts. Like we actually search music. We even get music arranged. So we may have 3 parts for violin. We'll have a part for the accordion, the guitar, piano, like all these various other instruments as well. So we really need somebody who can read music. So that's really what we
It's a good thing that there weren't so many requirements when I joined, though, because my accordion had sat in the basement for probably, maybe 30 years. And so it was a bit unfamiliar when I started playing. And I sometimes think now about people who joined the group and were playing these wonderful dance tunes, lickety-split. My brain would just have exploded coming into it now. Yeah. But yeah, I think we've all gotten quite a lot better.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is that in 15 years, we've had a very, strong core of people that come back year after year, which is, really, really good. And we have gotten better. So, the level of our playing is much better. So we certainly want to continue from that level and always getting better. Our musical director, Kim de la Forest, who is a professional violinist, as well as, I believe she plays the viola.
Yeah,
and she's played in the Regina Symphony Orchestra. She plays in the Saskatoon Symphony Orchestra. So she's constantly, pushing us. So just for an example is that we're going to, I don't want to give away too much, but we have a wonderful couple of dancers who will be joining us on June 1. Well, they dance very, very flourishly, very fast, and they play on very fast music. So they said, yes, we would like to come. How fast can you play? And I said, well, this is how fast we play. And then when the musical director, the dance director, heard that, she says, can you play it a little faster? So we've gone from, what we played this tune a number of years ago, and we've we've had to really, really increase it. So
we all have to eat our Wheaties before this concert.
So, many of the audience members will see some eyes go like this, because it may even be faster than how we've been playing it.
Nothing like the adrenaline of concert night.
And we always tease Kim about that, because, we play at a certain speed at rehearsal. Yep. But when Kim is on stage, of course, we all get caught up in the moment, and sometimes we don't know what speed she will start the tune at. So a lot of times my eyes have have gone big. I don't know about your eyes, but
Oh yeah, I can always just revert to playing the left hand if it gets too gnarly.
So when we talk about the music styles, are you limited to different types of compositions? And you mentioned there's some music that's composed.
well, we've actually, yes, we have played music that has been composed by one of our members, Steve Reed, who is no longer with our group, but he
Played one of my tunes, actually.
Yes, and one of Candace's
Yeah.
tunes, yes. And so, I mean, we welcome that, absolutely. But we play all types of music. You know, we love the French Canadian, the Quebecois, the Métis, Irish, Scottish, Celtic,
Ukrainian.
like we love, like we really, a lot of folk music. And we had a show a number of years ago called the 20s, 30s, and 40s. So we were really looking at pulling out those gems, you know, that were popular. Of course, they were the radio days, right? So we had some beautiful songs, and they're not fiddle, but they're, you know, they're just classics, I think.
So one thing about the concert that's coming up is that it commemorates the 15 years by pulling some of our favorite things from the repertoire. So one of the pieces that from that radio show from the 40s and 50s will be performing again. Yeah. And the only problem with that is that the things that people have chosen are usually the hardest ones. So even though we're repeating it, it's still really a challenge to make, yeah.
Well, yes, it's a challenge in so many ways, right? To not only make it sound good, but also to increase the speed, always. Right?
Yeah.
We're always looking at really looking at the little fine details.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
nuance of the dynamics and just making it more interesting and proficient.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, one of the songs we'll be playing is by Karnell Sawicki from the Fretless. And if you've seen them in concert, like that fiddle music is not for the faint of heart. It is fast music, right? So we do our best on that song, and I think we're doing pretty good on it.
I can even I can follow the score and everything now. Pretty proud.
Yeah. And another arranger is a young arranger, Ben Knorr. He's actually from Regina, but he studied at Berkeley. So he's actually been arranging a number of our bigger songs for about a couple of years now. So we'll be playing one of his arrangements.
Well, several.
As well.
Several of his, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Sawicki family is very musical. I know that, and I know that my dad played the fiddle as well. But I've heard it said that the fiddle and the violin, the only difference is a violin has strings and a fiddle has strangs. Is there really a difference, or is it just a preference of what you call it?
It's the same instrument.
It is.
Very same instrument, but it's the style of music in which you play. When we're playing violin music, it's more or less that's a reference to classical music. Fiddle music is dance music. It is traditional music, folk music.
Yeah.
So, Candace, you mentioned you played the accordion. That was a segue. This just isn't entirely a fiddle orchestra per se. There are some components that...
There is a predominance of fiddles, I have to admit.
We're about 20.
But yes, in addition, we have a drummer who is joining us just for the concert, but always we have a string bass player, a pianist, a couple of guitars, a mandolin player. So yeah,
Kind of rounds out
sometimes
that whole,
yeah. So we have a good rhythm section. We have a multi-instrumentalist who plays the flute and some percussion, and Marielle adds spoons when they're needed. So yeah, so it's a good sound.
So will people be able to buy the CDs at the show, or even after the show, for that matter?
Oh
if that
yes,
happens?
yeah. All the CDs, and especially the new one, will be available for purchase, and they're always available for purchase.
What do they cost for?
They're
typical?
about $20. Yeah.
So when you embark on this, what do your rehearsals look like? Do you just go to someone's house, basement, garage, or
Well, that's where it began, right?
Well, it actually began, yes, in Peggy's living room, which we quickly outgrew within that. Well, the next year we were at a church. We actually rehearsed at the Nutana Park Mennonite Church, and they have been absolutely wonderful to us, and wonderful acoustics. And that's where we rehearse every week, every Tuesday. And it's a good couple of hours, like, of rehearsal. And so we do that consistently from September to December, and then again from January to June.
And so except for little gigs here and there, sometimes we go out to seniors' homes or to special events to play. Otherwise, we're working towards this spring show for the whole year.
So the Saskatoon Fiddle Orchestra, if someone was trying to get a hold of you, how would they reach you?
They can just go Google Saskatoon Fiddle Orchestra, and then the website will pop up, as well as the Facebook page, and then they can contact us through there. Absolutely.
So if people are interested in the upcoming show, what is the best way for them to get a hold of any tickets, or at the door or ahead of time?
Well, the tickets before the show, they are available right now at McNally Robinson's, as well as at the Broadway Theatre, box office, or online. But they will also be available at the show as well.
Unless we sell out.
Unless we have sold
which
out
we have.
before. Yes.
Yeah.
So be forewarned that
That's
something
right.
as popular as this.
Yes. Don't wait.
Don't wait.
Get your tickets now.
Well, Marielle and Candace, I want to thank you for enlightening us a little bit about the organization and the upcoming show. Congratulations on your 15th year, and we'll look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.